everyone. Welcome to the Pokeshop BST podcast, episode 10. And we're joined, as always, with Woody, owner of the Pokeshop and Missing No Games, and Goosephone, Pokemon expert extraordinaire. And my name is Homero, and we always start with the news. Pretty light news week this week. I think the biggest news is it is Pokemon Go anniversary week.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, 9th anniversary of Pokemon Go, and just yesterday was the 3rd anniversary of Go in the TCG.
I went out and went to the 3rd ward for Go Fest. Caught a bunch of Zacian.
Nice.
Didn't get a shiny or a hundo, but I got some with a background that had decent IVs. But I went around and caught a bunch of those.
Nice.
That's kind of cool that the 10th anniversary, which is next year, going to be aligned with the 30th.
Yeah.
And that's right around the same time I got back into Pokemon after, being a kid, pretty much.
Yeah, that's
Was
2015,
2016-ish, when Pokemon Go first came out. So that's when I really got back into it heavy with the Pokemon Go hype. And
that was very hype.
And just opening packs. Because watching Leon Hart and all the other YouTubers at the time opening packs, Unlisted Leaf and all that. So
nice. So that is happening between July 1st, which was yesterday, Tuesday for us, Tuesday, July 1st, until Saturday, July 6th. 8 p.m. local time, which is an interesting for Pokemon Go events. They end at a specific time.
Oh,
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah, for you. So
Sometimes there will still be raids up after for the rest of the day. But the actual event itself will end.
Sure.
So yeah, that's the Pokemon Go news. I've never played Pokemon Go.
Oh, really?
Crazy? Yeah, I've never even had it on my phone, I don't think. So
I play it kind of sporadically.
Yeah.
I'll play it in bursts. Like, I obviously played a lot when it came out. And when Johto got added to the game, I played a lot too. But ever since then, I'll open it every day and try and get my streaks for my catching and my spins. But I don't go out and catch Pokemon every day anymore.
Oh, yeah.
I haven't played for a very long time. When it first came out, I probably played for the first year or two, and then it just kind of... I remember they had region lock Pokemon in the beginning.
Yeah.
There still are. I caught a Stone Journer when I went to EUIC.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, and that's a really rare one that only spawns in that area.
I see. Yeah, so they still have that. I remember back then, a lot of people were spoofing, trying to get those region lock Pokemons, and
people still do that.
Right, and it was...
They're better about banning people for it now, though.
That's good. Makes it kind of cool. You go to a different country and you get to catch a different Pokemon.
Relicanth, I think, is New Zealand or something like that.
Right.
Pachirisu, I'm pretty sure, is Japan. There's a bunch of different ones.
That's awesome. But yeah, ever since then, I just haven't had time for it.
Yeah. I didn't even have a smartphone when it came out.
Oh, really?
I was really late to the game. I was anti-smartphone.
Sure.
Yeah, I thought they would get in the way of
And
life.
now
and
look
that
at you. You're making all this content on smartphones.
We have 2 phones.
No, it's part of your life, right?
I know. But they do surveil you and spy on you and everything.
100%.
That I was paranoid
100%.
about, but
it's
that's
always
right.
recording because you've got to wait for it to say, "Hey, Google."
Yeah, exactly.
Or whatever.
Right.
I hope I didn't just set anyone's phone off.
Yeah, exactly. So then the next anniversary that's happening is Pokemon Sleep, 2nd anniversary. That was almost a year ago already. July 20th, this Sunday, the 2nd anniversary of the global release for Pokemon Sleep.
I play that. I stopped playing because my Pokemon Go Plus stopped working. It just randomly stopped working or taking a charge. And you can still play Pokemon Sleep without it, but it records you if you're not using it. And then it also eats your phone up really bad.
Oh, I bet it does.
Yeah, so without the accessory device, it's not really worth it.
I see.
Yeah, so I kind of stopped playing because of that, but I want to get a new one.
I remember seeing Pokemon Sleep when it first got released, but I didn't really understand it. What does it
It helps you have like a healthy sleep schedule. Make sure you go to bed before 4 a.m. at least, which
Oh,
is
really?
important for me. Yeah. And you get a sleep score based on how much you slept throughout the day. The more the better. But I think it maxes out at about 8 hours. You wake up and there's some Pokemon in your camp,
Hmm.
and you can feed them biscuits to befriend them. If it's a shiny, all you have to do is feed them one biscuit. But they can fill up, they can get full, and then until you encounter that Pokemon next time, where they'll have the same amount of fullness, you can't capture it. And you have different Pokemon with different kind of skills. Each area has a different type. Snorlax prefers a different type of berry, and each type of Pokemon provides a different berry. And you spend the time farming berries, and then at the end of the week you get a score for how big your Snorlax got, and you can transfer the Pokemon to home as well, so it's a nice way to get shinies.
Nice. Its own separate little game.
Yeah, so we'll see if I'm sure they'll have an event for that too, but that's not for a few weeks. The next thing after that will be July 22nd, and that's the Pokemon Presents broadcast. So that'll be at the end of the month, and I hope we get a lot of big news and
I hope we
release
see new
dates.
megas,
New megas.
please.
I'm sure they will throw in some new megas. It would be not smart of them not to
Yeah.
create new things, and with the 30th anniversary coming around, they gotta hype it up, and maybe we might get new starters. Who knows?
Uh-huh.
So
Are you going to talk about the alleged Gen 10 leak?
No, I didn't see anything about it.
Oh, okay. There was it was just like a very basic build, just testing the battle system. So it didn't even have the final graphics of the game. But all we know is Aggron and Butterfree are in the game, and Butterfree is my favorite. So I hope it's real.
Nice. Yeah, we'll try to keep up with leaks and stuff, I guess, on the podcast. Normally I don't cover leaks personally, but as a podcast it's like impossible not to talk about it. It feels like if you don't mention it, that like
Someone in the
it's just part
comments
of
will.
the conversation
sure,
already.
sure.
Yeah.
So I personally just don't cover leaks on my
Because so many of
personal-
them are fake.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But we can talk about them as leaks.
It
and
is
not
about
as
time for the
news.
next generation to be announced, though, because it's really every 3 years.
Yeah,
And
it feels like it is time for a new gen. That will be exciting. That's why it's good to do this right now, and then we'll do it again once Gen 10 comes out.
yeah.
And then on the calendar, Black Bolt and White Flare is July 18th. That's the release
Nice.
I'll be
date.
bringing back the Hilda cosplay for the
Nice.
opening.
Nice.
And if you guys haven't yet, make sure you guys enter our giveaways. We are on TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube. So we have 4 giveaways going on. Make sure you guys watch the video and follow the instructions and get entered.
And you could win some cards.
Yeah, you have to enter on the short.
Yeah.
On the short form video. And I brought some stats from those giveaways. For YouTube, White Flare has 56 entries, but Black Bolt has 180.
Wow. So it's almost 3 times.
Yeah, so if you want a better chance to win, you might want to choose White Flare rather than Black Bolt. I didn't see many people.
Oh, no, you can't enter both.
I didn't see many people doing both.
Do
Some people did, but I don't think it's going to count their votes because of the way they did it most of the time. Someone tagged like one person and said 1, and another person
said 2, yeah.
and then said white, and one person, and then sent it to someone else and said black. So that's not going to work.
Yeah,
you have to take
that's
2
not
people.
really the words,
so
the rules.
You got to follow the instructions. You have to take 2 people, and then in the comment say one or the other. Can't enter twice.
I'm sure there'll be a way we can weed out duplicates.
There is, yeah. That's just a setting. So that is exciting, and that giveaway will be up until the 18th. I'm gonna draw midnight on the 18th.
Nice.
So then for the next section, we'll do the check-in, just see how everyone's doing. You doing good?
I'm doing pretty good.
Yeah.
I think so.
That's good.
I went outside and touched grass and played Pokemon Go with some friends in the 3rd ward and laid down in the grass.
Nice.
Did a lot of walking. So that was good.
Good.
Yeah. I had a job interview. I didn't get it, but I don't really need a real job because content's enough for me, and this place helps with that.
Nice,
So it's
nice.
fine.
Sweet.
What about you, Woody?
I've been doing too good, I feel like.
You think you're gonna have bad luck soon because you're doing so good?
I have that. I kind of have that feeling.
Oh no.
I feel like I need to be here at the shop more and just take care of the small little stuff, because every time when I get in here and worry about that kind of stuff, it just kind of, there's a lot of it. So I just need to get better at spending a little bit more time here taking care of the smaller things, so I don't have to worry about it too much the next time I'm in here. So I've been spending a lot of time touching grass, riding bikes, a lot of outdoor stuff. It's been warm lately. It's been hot.
I
So.
went swimming yesterday.
Oh, did you? Nice. I
Yeah.
haven't gotten to go swimming yet, but hopefully soon. Um, we have a little Chicago trip coming up in the next week or so here after the 4th here. Happy 4th too, by the way, guys.
Yeah.
So we're probably going to be doing a lot of swimming then. And then, yeah, I mean, I feel like the summer's been going by really, really fast. June's over with already.
Yeah.
You know, and I feel like July is just gonna fly by. The 4th is here already. Black Bolt, White Flare is gonna be right around the corner, and then after that, yeah, it's August already. So we'll see.
Yep. I think the best allegory for the little things is if you have a jar, you take your biggest priorities and put them in first, and those are big rocks, and then you can take smaller rocks and it fills in the corners, and then you can take sand and pour that in and it all fits. But if you put all the sand in first, you can't fit any
of the rocks. Yeah,
the rocks. So if you don't take care of, it's almost in reverse order though. If you take all these little problems that you have to solve and don't do any of them, they pile up, and then you can't fit like the big things that you need to do inside of it. So yeah, that's like reverse allegory almost.
Interesting.
So let's see. Let's do not financial advice, and then we'll do our episode 10 special segment.
Nice.
So this ties in with that. So for not financial advice, my question was, I was gonna do it after because it'll be more fresh in your mind, but we'll do it before. So what do you think the best starter to collect is besides Charizard financially?
You want to go for it?
Maybe Squirtle, maybe like the Blastoise. There's some good Blastoise cards out there. I'm looking at the
yeah, maybe it's better we can just hand them. You want to just hand them, and we'll go right into this after. So you can look at it and decide on this question.
I agree with Goose. Squirtle will probably be
the 151 Squirtle is also pretty sought after.
Yes, the Squirtle line. It's nostalgic. It's, I would say, top 50 Pokemon, or maybe even better.
Yeah, maybe even better for sure.
Yeah, top 50,
especially with the song, like the viral song "Big Man Blastoise" is like
Big Man Blastoise, Big Man Blastoise.
That I think like sparked all the Blastoise fans to like be proud of their favorite Pokemon.
Yeah,
Blastoise would definitely be one of them.
And then there's that one Wartortle card that's a misprint that has Wartortle evolving from Wartortle.
Yeah.
That's a pretty valuable card.
Yeah,
too.
we have one in the case.
We do.
Yeah, that thing is pretty cool. Yeah.
I'll go get it just so we can show it off.
So that's my opinion.
I agree. I'm trying to figure out like if there's another one that really, really sticks out. But
for me, I think just speculation wise, there's Blaziken has some big cards.
I would say so. Yeah, I was gonna say that Torchic. Yeah.
PSA 8, Wartortle error. Wartortle from stage 1, Wartortle. 250 for PSA 8.
Yeah, I love this. I kind of want this.
I kind of want this. Yeah.
This one makes sense to have in a slab. I don't
Right.
really like slabs, but I like this one.
And one that's not really like I wouldn't say like super valuable, but it's super cool. Mudkip?
Mudkip is cool.
I think this whole line, just because they have the gold star versions of
Oh
them,
yeah, that's true.
Torchic, Mudkip, and Trico.
I didn't think about that.
You know, like that era of cards where, yeah, I mean, you can find the gold star cards from that era. Pretty valuable. I mean, in raw, you're probably looking, you know, 500 to
hundreds
to 1,500, depending on condition, or even more. You know, in the PSA 10, we're talking thousands of dollars. You know,
that's a good point.
Mm-hmm.
You think Score Bunny gets good cards,
I love
good-looking
Score
cards,
Bunny.
but
I have
more
all the
recent.
Terra Cinderaces. They're not that valuable, but I have all of them.
Nice.
I think Sabo. I mean, I don't Sabo.
In the V's.
Sabo's a pretty cool Pokemon. I don't know about valuable, but I think that line is just really stands out.
Yeah, it does. Yes, I think the next best one for sure is like the Squirtle line.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, easily. And then the gold star point. That's a really good point.
Yeah.
The gold stars. Yeah, and that will bring us. We can go directly into the episode 10 special segment. So if you want to hold up these sheets and hand them, pass the markers out, you can use blue for the water and red for fire and green for grass. And
Thank you.
We'll start by you both just choosing your favorite starter for each type. So your favorite fire, your favorite water, and your favorite grass. And you can talk through your decisions.
Okay. Fire is easily Cyndaquil. If you know me, you know that.
Mine's is Charmander.
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
I know you. That's okay.
Charmander for fire. Water is gonna be your close one.
The other two are hard. It's between Chikorita and Snivy. But Snivy, I mostly like Superior, but Chikorita, I like the whole line a lot. So I'm gonna say Chikorita.
For me, water is between Squirtle and Sobble.
Ooh, Sobble.
Yeah, I think I'm probably gonna go with Sobble for my water type.
For water, I'm torn between Oshawott and Mudkip is my favorite first stage, but I'm not as much of a Swampert fan as I am a Samurott fan. I love Samurott, but Mudkip is the cutest in the first stage. So this is the hardest decision for me, but I think I guess we're rating the starter itself, not the final evolution.
No, you could have.
For me, I think it implies the whole line. Whenever you choose a starter,
right,
you're in it for the whole line.
Well, you don't have to evolve it.
Right, that's true. It's totally it's up to you. My grass Pokemon is definitely gonna be Chikorita. My favorite grass.
I'm gonna go with Oshawott.
Nice.
Oshawott's cool. So I am going with Charmander for my fire. I'm going Sobble for my water and Chikorita for my grass.
Chikorita, nice. I have Chikorita for my grass, Cyndaquil for my fire, and Oshawott for my water.
Nice. Chikorita, underappreciated.
Johto guy.
Mm-hmm.
So if you were gonna go on a Pokemon adventure and end up with 3 starters, that would be the 3 you would want?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. All right, so now we will do one from each region.
One from each region?
Yeah.
Okay. One from each region.
So we'll go one.
So we'll go with Kanto first. You can go first.
Kanto. This is a hard one. Out of the 3 fully evolved ones, I like Charizard the most. But out of the first and second evolutions, I prefer Bulbasaur and Squirtle. But I'm going to say overall Squirtle. They're all very close for me, though.
Mine's is not even a decision. I always started with Charmander. Playing red and blue, it just always was Charmander. Still is, so that's a no-brainer for me.
Squirtle also gives you a really nice advantage against the first two gyms because you've got Brock just gets crushed by it,
Sure,
and
sure.
like you at least resist water attacks.
Mm-hmm.
So that kind of helps you a bit.
Plus, in the early games, it gives you a Pokemon in your party that can surf, so you don't have to go to the PC and like switch to surf around.
Not really. There's they started in Sun and Moon. They had ride Pokemon.
Yeah.
So that's when they started phasing out HMs.
Yeah, just in the HM era. I mean,
Yeah.
that helped a lot.
No, you had to earn Surf.
Yeah.
But Surf is a good move anyway, so it doesn't hurt having it in your party.
Definitely.
Let's go to Johto.
Okay, let's go to Johto. Easy, Cyndaquil.
Mine's is probably going to be Chikorita for Johto.
Nice. I love Chikorita too. Cyndaquil. I'm obsessed with it. I'm literally obsessed with Cyndaquil.
I honestly like Totodile too. I just don't like its evolutions.
Okay, that's
Totodile as a starter is pretty cool, like a little alligator.
I like his little dance.
Yeah,
does.
yeah.
I can do
a
Totodile voice pretty good. You want to hear it?
What is it? Yeah, it sounds, and he's just always dancing like this.
Yeah.
Oh, and no. I'm going Torchic. I don't really like Combuskin, but Blaziken and Torchic are great.
As starters, it's in between Torchic and Mudkip. But if I think about the evolution line, I am probably gonna go with Torchic.
Nice. We agree. Sinnoh? Piplup. Piplup's so cute. Empoleon is so cool. It becomes a water steel type, which is pretty unique typing.
I think I gotta agree with this one too. Yeah, Piplup is probably the cutest. And as far as like the evolution line, I think Piplup still the coolest.
Here's where it gets hard, is Unova, for me at least. Tepig's out, sorry. Tepig's cute, don't like its evolutions. Oshawott is cute. Samurott is way up there in terms of my favorite water types. Probably is my favorite water type besides Suicune. And then Snivy. I love Snivy. Servine is cool too. And Serperior is cool. But I don't really like Duat very much. So I'm actually going to say Snivy on this one. I always, when I played Black and White, I would always get someone to trade me an egg of their starter from whichever I didn't pick between Snivy or Oshawott. So I could have both on my final team.
For me, starter-wise, it's between Snivy and Oshawott.
Yeah, me too.
I do not like Tepig like that. But thinking about the evolution line, I am going with Oshawott.
Snivy also gets that contrary hidden ability, which is very compatible with his Leaf Storm move.
Mm-hmm.
So instead of losing your special attack, you gain extra, and it gets stronger every time you use it. Kalos! Fennekin.
Kalos region.
Fennekin is so cute. I like that it eats sticks. I like that it's got fluffy ears. I like that it looks like a fox. Braixen, also super cute. Delphox, not as much, but that's definitely my favorite out of the three. Greninja's probably the coolest final evolution. And Chespin, I'm sorry, I just gotta pass on that.
I think this is like my least favorite starter group. I'm not feeling Chespin at all. But I'm going with the Frog. Frogadier. A lot of water and fire.
Yeah, I think mine is mostly fire. But I do choose Charmander a lot. I know it sounded like I wasn't super enthusiastic about it, but out of the three fully evolved, Charizard's my favorite. So we're gonna go with Alola. This is another tricky one. The last time I played Ultra Moon, I had a Litten and I kept it as a Litten. And there's this little cutscene that you get before the Elite Four where your starter will come out of its ball and you talk to it. And mine was still a Litten and it meowed at me. And I think I picked it up or something like that. It was really cute scene. And I posted on Twitter and you're like, you see your starter in its first form at the end? I don't remember this. And I was like, no, I just never evolved my Litten. I like Torracat too, but Incineroar, I don't know. I have some fondness of Incineroar because it's really good in VGC. It's really good in Pocket. But I'm gonna say Poplio.
Poplio?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm gonna say Poplio. Actually, I don't know. Decidueye is cool too. It's like a unique hooded archer. I really like it. But I also have this attachment to Litten now. You decide first. I need a little more time.
Okay, me is gonna be between Litten and the owl. I do not like the water starter for this region at all, but thinking about the evolution line, I'm not really feeling Incineroar like that.
Yes, it's the same.
Decidueye is just way more cooler in my opinion. So
and Primarina is really cool.
What kind of animal is that? Is it like a
It's a seal.
Seal. That's what I thought. Like, I am going with the owl.
I'll go Poplio.
Poplio, yeah.
Yeah. But I like Litten more than Poplio in the first stage. But I like Brionne. Brionne's a good Pokemon too, so yeah. All right, Galar. This is my favorite batch of starters after Johto.
Oh, really? Nice.
Part of it's because of Go, honestly.
Sure.
But it's a fire rabbit.
Yeah.
Like, how can you, like, that's so goose coated.
It is.
And I love the whole line. Like, Raboot, he's kind of like an edgy teen. He has his days where he just wants to slam a door in his mom's face and tell her he's gaming. Cinderace, he's really sporty and fun and tall. And Scorbunny's just a cutie. We gotta go with Scorbunny on this one, but I really like all three of them.
You love bunnies too, by the way.
Yeah, exactly. It's a rabbit. So, like, frame one, I knew that was who I wanted when these were first revealed.
I'm going with Sobble.
That's a good choice.
Sobble is really, really cool.
I feel like Inteleon kind of gives me, like, you know, he starts out as a little sad kid, right?
Yeah,
He starts out as the little crybaby who gets bullied. And then Drizzile is literally just emo. He's so emo. He wants to hide in his cave all by himself, and he's always like depressed. He's like, Drizzile. And then Inteleon, he gets dressed up in a suit and he becomes a sniper, which kind of makes me think of like a school shooter or something. So there's the pipeline, you know? But it makes sense. It makes sense. I like the Sobble line. Maybe that was a little too much. I'm sorry.
It reminds me of the Kill Bill.
When
her parents get murdered in front of her and then she becomes an assassin.
Okay, yeah. He becomes an assassin, we'll say. Or a spy. Alright, Paldea. Easy. It's Sprigatito.
You like Sprigatito.
Easy game.
This is probably one of my favorite group of starters. All the other starters are really, really cute. They look really, really unique. They brought the fire with this era of starters here. They're all really, really cute. Let me see here. I don't know why. I remember when they first came out. Somebody came in the shop and said, "Look, there's a little, what is it? Who's the duck from Disney?
Oh,
Donald Duck.
Hey, look, they got Donald Duck. They got Donald Duck on this box, and I remember laughing about it. For me, I think. They're all really, really good as starters. I'm thinking about the evolution line now. I don't know, right? Let's see. I'm going with the duck again. I don't know. I like ducks. Boom! There you go.
Nice.
Where did you get the screenshot from? Is it like Radical Red or something? Or did you just Photoshop it together?
I just got it off of Instagram, I think.
Oh, okay.
That is my favorite stars from each region.
Squirtle, Cyndaquil, Torchic, Piplup, Snivy, Fennekin, Poplio, Scorbunny, and Sprigatito for me.
I got Charmander, Chikorita, Torchic, Piplup, Oshawott. What's the frog?
Froakie.
Froakie. I kept thinking
Frog.
Frogadier.
What the frog doing?
Frogadier.
Here come that boy.
What is it? Sobble. The owls. What was the owl's name?
Rowlet.
Rowlet. Yeah, I knew that. And then Donald Duck.
And Donald Duck.
Donald Duck.
Nice.
Donald Duck.
Donald Duck.
Yeah, I feel like there's certain gens where each of them have like a lot of personality, and then sometimes for me, some of them feel like they miss. I wasn't able to get through by choosing only one. I had to cheat when I filled mine out, where a couple gens I had to pick two. So you guys did a good job only picking one. I couldn't do it. I tried. I was agonizing over it. I was filling it out on my phone. I was like doing it.
There's always my top two, and I just gotta like
Yeah, I had to have two times.
weigh it out.
All right, so that's our episode 10 special segment. The next segment is the pack battle.
Let's go.
Let's do Destined rivals and see if we can pull some heat.
Mewtwo. Mewtwo. One to the front? I have not hit anything good yet. I don't know why. I haven't opened enough.
Okay.
What you got?
Dress and
I got
Halo.
Dark Energy and Team Rocket's Ekans.
Slugma. Ethan Slugma.
Combustion.
Metatite.
Cynthia's Feebas.
Wash Rotom.
Team Rocket's Dottler.
I love Rotom. Lurantis.
Energy Recycle.
Team Rocket's Transceiver.
Metacham.
Team Rocket's Weezing. Cool.
Team Rocket's Watchtower.
Torchic. Reverse Hollow. Cute.
We got Team Rocket's Blipbug.
Feebas. Cynthia's Feebas. Reverse Hollow.
We got Team Rocket's Dottler Reverse Hollow.
And Crustle.
I got a Hydrapple Holographic Rare.
I think yours is a little cooler.
Hydrapple.
Hydrapple more than Crustle.
Yeah, Hydrapple.
Crustle's cool.
Crustle's cool.
It's got a good ability.
Mysterious Rock In. Prevent all... Oh, that's busted. Prevent all damage done to this Pokemon by attacks from your opponent's Pokemon EX. That's very helpful, actually.
Is that not really good? I think that's like
yeah,
really cool.
that's like the Mimikyu does that too, right?
For one,
Safeguard.
Yeah.
For one Grass Energy, Hydro Breath. Discard 6 basic energy cards from your hand and knock out your opponent's active Pokemon. If you can't discard 6 cards in this way, this attack does nothing.
Yeah, the Hydra Apple deck is really cool. I've played against it a few times. I haven't put it together yet, but it's really fun. Well, we're sparing the customers from the from the mispacks. Yeah, I like the Hydrapple deck a lot, but that Crustle, that ability, I want to give it a shot.
Superb Scissors does this attack's damage isn't affected by any effects on your opponent's active Pokemon. So it's actually, that sounds like a solid card. Is that played ever?
I don't think so. I think it deserves
Stage
a
1,
chance,
Stage 2?
though.
Stage 2.
Yeah.
Or stage 1, sorry, that's what I meant.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think it deserves a chance. You put a bravery charm on it or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Beef it up a little bit.
Yeah.
Because it's got 150, so.
I call it a tie. And that will bring us to the last segment of the podcast already. It's hashtag Ask Woody, hashtag Ask Goosephone. If you'd like to ask a question, you can leave it in the comments with the hashtag Ask Woody, hashtag Ask Goosephone, and we'll get to your questions on the air. The first one is from Chad McDownbad, which is a really good name. Chad McDownbad asks, do you prefer Gigantamax Venusaur or Mega Venusaur?
Gigantamax Venusaur's flower is almost like a big umbrella covering him. And that's a really strong Pokemon too. But Mega Venusaur is also a really strong Pokemon. It gets thick fat, which mitigates its weaknesses to fire and ice. And it gets like a little flower on its head, if I recall correctly. I'm going to go with Mega Venusaur personally, because that's what I used in my story in my X and Y run. I had Bulbasaur in that. And I use the Mega Venusaur a lot.
I'm gonna go with the opposite. I'm going with the VMAX, the Gigantamax, because I'm more familiar. I was kind of more active in Pokemon during that time versus the Megas. But who knows? We're gonna get Megas again, so we'll
Mega
see.
Venusaur, the new card, looks really good.
I'm sure.
You can just move energy whenever you want.
I'm sure it does. So
Wow.
it's going to be interesting to kind of transition back into Megas, but yeah, that's what the fun's going to be all about. So
I think I might wait to build my deck until Megas come out.
Oh,
I think so too. Yeah, right now it's
they're
kinda,
gonna be game changing.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah,
Three
prizes,
prizers.
Yeah.
They're going to be super. It's going to fasten up the pace of the game for sure.
Yeah, definitely. I think that's a good thing.
Yeah,
in some
100%.
Yeah,
ways.
TCG can take a little long.
Yeah.
And the Megas need the treatment though. The big text across the front.
Oh yeah,
in,
right.
In a different language, and in English it's in Japanese, and Japanese
Right.
it's in.
They might change it up this time. I'm thinking like they might do something a little different.
Yeah, we'll see.
And
And
I
then
have Megas from X and Y that had Japanese text over it.
yeah.
Yeah,
And in the Japanese version, it was English.
that's cool.
Yeah.
That's really cool, I think. And then they say same goes for Charizard and Blastoise. So Gigantamax Charizard versus Mega Charizard.
Both Mega Charizards?
I think you have to choose one or the other, in my opinion.
There's a Mega Charizard X and a Mega Charizard Y.
Y.
So
Yeah.
it's between 3 of them,
Yeah.
basically.
No, because it's a Charizard and I'm more familiar, I'm probably gonna go with the Mega Charizard Y.
Yeah.
No, is it XY? The dark,
The black one is
it's
X.
Yeah, I'm going with Mega Charizard X.
Oh, okay. That's what I thought. I like the Y one, but I thought you would like
I
X
like the
more.
Y one too. It's got more, I was almost going to say fins is what it looks like, but they're not fins. They're just little extra
Right, something on it for
something.
sure.
And then the G Max is cool because it doesn't have like actual like tangible wings. It has wings made out of fire, and its face kind of looks like molten lava, and it's really cool. But I think I like things a little bit simpler than that, so I'm going to say Mega Charizard Y.
I kind of agree. I like the Mega Charizard, just how they look. Personally, they look a lot better. I felt like the VMAX, the Gigantamax version they just kind of made it look like a Godzilla almost. You know what I mean? Like it wasn't flying around anymore, just this big. I don't know if you guys remember the episode with the giant Dragonite.
Yeah.
It reminded me of that.
Yeah.
You know, what I mean, just this big thing.
The one on
just
Bill?
yeah, just kind of. That's what and the cards as well. Like I was not a big fan of the card, the VMAX, the Charizard VMAX card, just because of the illustration, you know. But I prefer the Megas for Charizard for sure.
And then how about for Blastoise?
I think I actually like the Gigantamax Blastoise more, but I attribute this memory to Mega Blastoise. It's an anime clip, and Mega Blastoise is cleaning a car with its cannons, and it blasts the roof off of the car and makes it basically into a convertible.
Yeah.
And then the guy, even in Japanese, he's like, "Oh my god!"
Yeah.
And it's one of the funniest things I've seen in the anime. So I think I might say Mega Blastoise just because of that, but I think that the Gigantamax one is a bit cooler.
For sure. I think I'm going with the Gigantamax Blastoise. I think it's just more well-rounded versus the Charizard. I think the Blastoise and the Venusaur was more simpler. Versus the Charizard, they kind of did too much with it, in my opinion. So I'm going with VMAX Blastoise.
Nice. And that car wash clip reminds me of Steven Universe. That would
Really?
be Steven Universe's dad's Pokemon would be a Blastoise, I think, at the car wash. And the next Ask Woody, Ask Goosephone comes from Beastmaster Max. Let's see. I'm gonna read the whole thing because I don't know where the question starts. Says, I'd imagine they'll tease new megas in the next direct. So we mentioned that is going to be on the 22nd Pokemon Presents. They say they're kind of hyped about it, along with megas coming back to the TCG. And then let's see. Hold on. I'll find the question. Here we go. Speaking of the TCG, which starter or battle deck would you recommend to anyone interested into getting into the TCG competitively, even for those who have had some experience with the TCG?
Dragapult.
The League battle deck.
It depends. It really depends. Like if you want to play, what format, right? What format? We're talking about current format. It's probably going to be Dragapult. If we're talking Sword and Shield format, we're gonna play Mew VMAX. Those two are really like top tier decks. Charizard EX is also a really good one.
That's a really good one.
Yeah, Charizard is easier to play too, I think.
Yeah, the Pidgeotto or the
Pidgeot
line is
the quick search one.
Yeah, that's just like such a good card to have to get to learn a deck. It takes you a little longer to tutor stuff like that, but
Yeah, Pokemon like made it so much easier now to like they provide these battle league decks that are pretty like freaking good already. You buy two of them and kind of combine the cards, and you got a really competitive deck, So I mean, if either it's Chin Pao, they have a Chin Pao one too, which I thought was really good in the beginning. Gardevoir, um, Charizard EX, Dragapult is probably the most recent one that's really good.
Raging Bolt.
I don't think Raging Bull has a starter deck.
Oh, I thought we were just talking about stuff that was good. No, it doesn't have a.
Yeah.
It doesn't have a league battle deck, but
Yeah.
Dragapult does. Sorry, I was not paying attention for a second.
No, you kind of confused me. Yeah, but like I said, those four league battle decks right there could, like I said, if you buy two of them and combine them, you probably you probably win some matches for sure.
And those are what, like $50?
They're $29.99, $30.
Wow. Okay.
So yeah, Gardevoir. They got a Gardevoir League Battle deck. Charizard EX, Chin Pao, was it Dragapult? Those are probably my top four.
Do you have them for sale at the store?
We don't. Those are pretty popular, but when they first came out,
we did carry them. But
yeah, we did carry them at one point. But
the Marnie deck is pretty fun too.
Oh yeah, I didn't even.
That's a good deck. Yeah, Marnie's Grimmsnarl. That deck is very functional out of the box.
I haven't been playing. I haven't been playing for a while, so I haven't kept up. But I heard the Marnie one's pretty good too.
Yeah, my other recommendation is always, if you have someone to play with, to get the World Championship decks and just play those against each other.
Yeah,
and that's how you get to see truly refined championship caliber decks, and helps you in your deck building philosophies to see how many silver bullets to include and to understand that you can find them. You can just put your one copy of whatever is anti-meta maybe or something like that.
World Championship decks are a lot more advanced. That's the previous championships actual deck that they won or they went to Worlds with. You know, top 8, I believe, or top 4 or something like that.
Are you allowed to use those cards?
They're
Though? Yeah,
no.
that's the thing.
But it's just, I mean, just to play for fun, like so you can
Yeah.
get an idea of how to spice up your deck. You know, using more or less of a certain item card or a supporter, or you know, the just to have an insight of, you know, what people are taking away or adding
Mhm.
to better advantage themselves in the world championship, you know.
Yeah, and how to get like a really refined, efficient,
Right,
consistent deck.
right,
I think those are the best way to handle those decks, play them, and see what it
right.
feels like.
But most of the time they come out when it's already out of rotation,
Right, right.
so that you don't, you know, like not a lot of people get them because it's just more like they're not.
They're not in standard
Yeah, they're
anymore
not
by the
they're
time they
not
come out.
relevant
Yeah,
anymore. It's just more like,
yeah,
oh yeah, I have a deck that won. You know, if you collect, you know, some people collect them.
yeah. They're good to collect.
They
Yeah,
come with
You can relive
pins.
the
yeah,
moment,
yeah.
relive the finals. So yeah,
They
that
do come with pins too.
those are
Yeah,
all good options, I think, though. Really, Pokemon makes it so much easier to just pick up a deck and play than other games. Like, not many other games give you like a pretty fully formed deck like that.
yeah.
I remember Magic tried it once, and it was like such a pale example
Oh
of the
really?
deck. Like, they gave you one copy of the main card. You're supposed to have 4 of them, and they only put one in the deck. It's like, that doesn't
Right. I
function. The
feel like
deck doesn't work
Magic
that
just
way.
way too it
Uh,
is the game itself is more advanced. So it's harder to like, hey, let's just
mm,
how are we gonna make something that's pretty good? You know what I mean?
they
Because
just don't want to mess up the secondary market by
exactly,
putting out a
right,
bunch
right. Those
like an
guys
actual
over
good deck.
at Wizards, yeah,
Yeah,
they're pretty. They know what they're doing.
yeah. Um, yeah, I would say all those are really good ones. And my goal for the ladder just reset, so I'm gonna try to hit Master Ball on TCG Live this time.
Yeah,
I was in Ultra Ball, and I just did stop playing for a little bit. Uh,
it's
but
hard to get up there.
yeah, I think I can hit Master Ball this time around, though. We'll give it a shot. And that would bring us to the end of the Pokeshop BST podcast episode 10. So we will see you all in the next one.
Bye bye.
Peace.